So good morning, everyone. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about why so many firms tolerate underperformance, by which I mean that mediocre so-so performance that deserves a tick in the doesn't meet expectations box of the annual appraisal, but doesn't often get one. So why do we tolerate underperformance? The other day, someone was describing their team to me and concluded by saying, and then of course we have the two underperformers. When I asked what the plan was to deal with it, it was clear that there wasn't one. So this morning I'd like to challenge you to stiffen your sinews and find the resolve to deal with those cases of underperformance of which you're fully aware but have not yet done anything about. And what's your reward for doing this? I would argue that it can be nothing less than the transformation of the performance of your firm. And here's why. I remember a senior partner telling me at the start of my career that of the partnership, of the 100 or so partners in the firm, there were probably 10 who moved the dial, who made a good firm a great firm. And in the many firms that I've worked with since, I would say that that observation still holds true. So it follows that we need to keep our high performers motivated. And for the most part, we do this by tinkering around with their remuneration, bonuses, profit shares. And of course, that's important. But have you ever known any high performer to be really happy with their pay? No, I haven't either. And this brings me to the point about tolerating underperformance. One of the key insights in Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, is that there's not a great deal that management can do to motivate high performers. They're already hugely self-motivated, but there is one thing that management can do to demotivate them, and that is to tolerate underperformers. High performers hate it. They can't stand it. It's quite simply unfair. And if it's not dealt with, it'll drive them away. And yet time and time again, management teams are not prepared to deal with it. Why is that? Well, here's one explanation. One of the refrains I often hear when I challenge boards on this is, we don't want to lose what makes us special. We're not that sort of firm. We're a nice firm. So I guess the challenge is, how do nice firms drive higher performance? And I'm going to suggest 3 steps. The first step is mind your language. Don't conflate a reluctance to address underperformance with being nice or being kind. Being nice is an approach designed to make you feel better. It's like saying, I will do the nice thing and not point out what the other person has done negatively. Similarly, being kind is an approach designed to make the other person feel better. It's saying, I will do the kind thing and assume that the other person did not intend to do something negative. So I'll say that it's okay or that they shouldn't worry about it. Being nice or being kind often results in every HR director's nightmare when they're presented with an underperformer's annual appraisal that says they meet expectations, or worse, that they've been given a pay increase or a bonus. So instead of being nice or being kind, I would advocate being compassionate. And compassion is an approach designed to stop further suffering. It's saying, I will do the compassionate thing and have what could be a difficult conversation, but constructive conversation, to ensure that any negative consequences are not allowed to continue. Step 2 is train your leaders and your managers in how to have compassionate conversations. They can indeed be difficult, but if they're done well, they can be incredibly constructive. And thirdly, and we picked up some of this from the poll just now, get the basics right. At the risk of stating the obvious, be clear with your people what performance you're expecting. I remember the first performance meeting I was ever in with a partner, his first response was, I didn't realize this is what you wanted from me. So be fair, set out clearly what good performance looks like. And build accountability into your leadership structure. Part of the problem here is that it can be difficult to challenge the performance of an equal, particularly in smaller firms where leadership and structure is less formalized. So leaders need to be given a clear mandate to manage performance. And ideally, it's the senior partner or the managing partner, but sometimes it can be the non-exec director who calls it out. But there must be somebody responsible for holding people to account. That's my 5 minutes. I hope you feel inspired to have that compassionate conversation. And think of it this way: you'll be motivating your high performers. Thank you.